We're good? Okay, I'm going to call this board to this meeting to order and start the meeting, and we'll start with the roll call of the directors.
Director Jones?
Here.
Director Dudo?
Here.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Cobb?
Here.
Director Zendrata?
Okay. Agenda item 3, citizen communications, limited to 2 minutes per person. Zach is going to be our timekeeper. And first on my list is Chris O'Toole. And go ahead and hit the button so that the microphone, make sure the microphone is blinking green. There you go. Thank you. Chris, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. And thank you for working on the sidewalks. I saw that the sidewalk by Robbie Lane was repaired, replaced a section there, so I really appreciate that you guys working on that. I also saw that the part of the park plan was to maybe do like a crosswalk by Sunchase for that park. I was curious to know what the plan was to make sure that Wilco allows for that. It sounds like there were issues trying to get a stop sign at Alexandra for a couple of years there. So hopefully there's a plan to be able to be successful on a crosswalk like that. And if there is, I'd also be interested if you guys could look at crosswalks like that. It sounds like at Old Mill, there's 2 of them at Old Mill and Little Elm instead of 4 marked crosswalks. And then maybe at Brighton Bend or Alexandra and Old Mill. I think a marked crosswalk there would really help the kids walk into school. And I saw in the park plan there was a mention of Astor Pass Pond benefiting from a marked crosswalk, but it wasn't in like the 3 or 5 year plan later on. So I wonder if that might be worth looking at too, just kind of pushing them for more marked crosswalks. And I just want to say thank you for posting the attachments on the website. It really helps us prepare for these meetings and follow along. One last thing I think I want to say is that for the minutes, it would be really neat if, and I really appreciate that the minutes are timely approved again. So if this would impact that, don't do it. But it'd be neat if the minutes could have the items as well. I just keep saying like and then, and then, and then. So it's hard to kind of jump through the minutes to figure out which item you're interested in. Thank you for your time.
Next up is Sarah Teal.
When the power granted at the poll is undermined by politicians who wish to put their search for power over the will of the people, democracy is truly at stake, whether that is at the federal or local level. This undermining may come in the form of unfounded accusations, created propaganda, abuse of power, or the outright breaking of laws. We can turn on the TV at this point and watch all of these mechanisms currently on display. What appears to be happening tonight, according to the agenda, seems eerily similar. I would like to remind this board that Linda Faub was elected on the platform that she would provide much-needed oversight of the district and their contractors, which is something that she has done without fail and in the face of great opposition. One director currently sitting on this board has indeed received no votes from the people of this district, and the remaining have received markedly less than Ms. Faub. It doesn't matter what political party you belong to. If you are willing to use unsavory means to overturn the will of the people, then you are the enemy of democracy. Thank you.
Next up is Rachel Sontag.
Yep. Sounds like a cold medication. You can thank my husband for that.
Can I begin?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm here to speak as an advocate for Debbie Henry at 1304 Birch Drive. I know you're all familiar with her address. I know probably everybody here knows who she is, but I doubt many have actually ever spoken to her. Well, I know that there have been problems with this residence for several years now. The thing that I wondered was, how did this begin?
because for the first 15 years that she resided in this home with her husband and her children, there was never one issue. So that was what I wanted to focus on finding out. And so what I found out was that this was not her fault. After her children grew and left, her husband passed away. She was a widow and she was grieving alone. She opened her home to a friend and his wife who were having financial issues. And the idea was that they could provide support for her while she was grieving and help each other out. It didn't work out quite so well. What ended up happening was that she became a victim of domestic abuse. For anybody who thinks being a victim of domestic abuse is something you can walk away from, I can speak from experience, it is not. It is a horrible thing to have to endure. While Miss Henry was being held in her home, at times for months at a time without being allowed outdoors, her home was being destroyed from the outside, and she was being beaten on the inside. This is a woman who was locked in a closet that was then nailed shut. There are multiple police reports involved here that can confirm everything I'm saying. When these people arrived, that's when the problems began. This person who is to blame is now removed, and things are improving due to myself and other members of the community who want to assist her. Y'all are here to serve the community, and people like this are who y'all need to focus on, who have been victimized. I don't want to go over, but I understand I probably already have. But thank you for your time.
Barrett Sante.
I feel like it's a game show and I need to hit the buzzer to start my 2-minute timer. 1304 Birch. It's not that. It's Miss Debbie Henry. And she's a grandmother. She's got a very big heart. And that is how she ended up in this situation. She, I'll say, naively opened up her home to someone that she thought that she could improve their lot in life. And this man proceeded to destroy her life, abused her, broke the home down piece by piece through a desire for trying to, I don't know. It was a mess. It is a mess. He's gone though. He got arrested. He's not in the house anymore. She has a chance to pick up and make a life for herself. Some folks in the community are reaching out and helping. They're working on getting the front yard cleaned up, trash taken away, trees trimmed. But some folks seem to want to just continue to beat down a woman that was abused. And I feel like as neighbors we should be coming together to support each other, especially she's been here 20 years. She's not someone that's new. She didn't just appear.
Yeah, 10 seconds, sir.
She has been our neighbor. And we should be trying to help her get on her feet. Thank you.
Next up is Deborah Dahl.
My name is Deborah Dahl. Good evening. I'm first going to say that I am a survivor of violent crime, financial exploitation, abuse, and I swam and navigated those sharks for 12 years. The last meeting that I was in, I felt like I was in those same waters. It's very triggering, which does not benefit my wellness, but I, thank goodness, have many agencies are going to assist me in stopping some of what's triggering probably a lot of the people in our neighborhoods. And what I read in the small research I did, I'm going to reach out to the people whose wheelhouse it is, whether it be an attorney or the bar board or white-collar crime or whatever it is that I thought I'm going to look up and find some guidance in finding out what is exactly going on with money, with honesty, with all the things that I learned when I was 5. Do unto others, don't take what's not yours, and love thy neighbor. And that's not going on from my perspective, and these are all my opinions. What I hope to advance to is finding out in black and white exactly what has gone on. If the shoe fits, please wear it. I again will repeat how I started this conversation is the triggering of what I feel in this room, the retaliatory, the snarky comments, the us against you. You all are our employees. We do not work for you. And it says that in your contract and defines you as an employee. And I know that if I owned a business and my employees were undermining and not being as they should be in the contract of ethics and all those other big words I can use, they wouldn't be working. And so from my position, it's we are in this together. We define things correctly. We don't pick and choose who we want to get a letter or what we overlook, all those things. All of it is bent on honesty, and I hope we get there, and I hope we all work together to make sure we do. I will do my best.
Okay, next up is Rose Green.
Okay, the first thing, I think it's been about 4 months since I asked about this trailer, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. How long does it take is what I'm wondering. Who's in charge of all this stuff? I don't know. Any answer to this? Guess not. Anyway, I have another thing with my bill. I've been dealing with this for 2 months. I got another bill then, let's see, I paid it on June 3rd, but anyway, it was 2 months bill then. I said, okay, there's something wrong here. I went to my bank. It was run 4 days after I put it in the box out here. So I don't know where it went to. Like I said, I paid it on May 6th, and it was run through already on the 10th. So I get my bill again last month. Here it is on there again. I owe $90-some plus interest. Where did my money go? I have sat on the phone for days, and I can't get any answers. What's wrong with this picture is what I'm trying to figure out. I did cross off this here $94, and I did send in the amount I was supposed to. So I don't know what's going on, but I can't get any answers. And I can sit on the phone. There's nobody that will answer at the summit, Houston. I did talk to somebody around Rock, wherever. I did talk to a gentleman out of Houston, and he says this has got to be investigated.
10 seconds, ma'am.
I said I need a new bill. Well, I've never had a return call yet. I've pushed the 1 every time.
That's your time, ma'am.
Okay, next up is Gerald Burgess.
Okay, I guess I'm ready. Megan, congratulations on a job well done with regards to the park plan. Thank you for your hard work, your time and energy on developing this park plan. I was very impressed with your skill set that you used to develop this plan. You were an excellent collaborator. You always made the advisors on the committee feel like they're a part of the process. I would like to thank them for them on your behalf. As a board director, thank you for your service to the community and serving the community. As a behalf of the community, we would like to thank you for your hard work and dedication to a project that will serve the whole community in a positive manner. You are an excellent example of how a board director works for the good of the community. Tim and Marshall, who helped us with this, the part of they are the members of the team that we hired. Thank you for coming tonight to help us with the presentation of the plan. I was very impressed with your professionalism and knowledge with regards to developing this park plan. And I enjoyed working with y'all. Different subject. A fourplex landlord did not pay his water bill. His water bill was terminated. His tenants lost their water supply due to no fault of their own. He owed $1,200 to the water bill. A director at the time went to Infomart, took from his pocket his money, and laid it down like this. Cash on the barrel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, $1,200. Paid the water bill. In my opinion, that man put his money where his mouth was. This ex-board member demonstrated how to help residents live in our community. In my opinion,
15
that
seconds, sir.
How much?
15.
And in my opinion, that ex-director followed up. The following can be a summary of his philosophy, as from the Bible. It's Matthew chapter 6, verse 2. Therefore, when you do merciful deeds, do not sound a trumpet before yourself, as the
That's your time,
hypocrites
sir.
do in the synagogues. Thank you.
Okay, next up is David Flores.
It's nice to see a full room, full of supporters for Debbie Henry. We have people, their testimony coming to help Debbie, people willing to fight, willing to help. But ultimately, it's up to y'all. You have the power to stop and to help Debbie. It takes 3 votes to stop this lawsuit. Zach is your employee. He does what you tell him to do with 3 votes. So if you can all work together and have this discussion in front of all these people, you can all talk amongst yourselves, show these people that you are able to talk like adults, have a conversation, and help Mrs. Henry. I doubt that any of you, except for Linda, have met Mrs. Henry, has helped Mrs. Henry. I've been there to fix her fence. I've been there to help her cut her lawn, trim her hedges. That's what a neighbor does. You guys just sit up here and point fingers. I don't see you out there helping. You have the opportunity to help this woman. Show the community where your heart is. What's important to you. What's important to this community. You have all these supporters here speaking up that they want Miss Henry to have help, not to have her life ruined, not to lose her house because of a lawsuit, a lien put on her house. Now, how does Andersonville West Neighborhood Association know that there's going to be a lien put on their house before the public, before it's even discussed in front of everybody? Is there a leak?
15 seconds, sir.
Vote your conscience, people. Do the right thing. Have your own, be your own person. Don't let this woman dictate you. I know she's a big bully. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for what's right. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Matt Whittington.
Over a year ago, I requested a 5-year look into the fees of office and all reimbursements for members of the current board and previous. I only recently received this information and can confirm that prior to November of 2020, no directors were capturing the required information for reimbursement. Not one of these directors included a description of the duties that were performed by attending the meetings, which is a required entry in order to receive fees of office or a reimbursement according to Water Code 49.060 subsection C. This includes current board members Catherine and Art. From what I've seen so far in these documents, the previous board, which also included Catherine and Art, have non-qualifying fees on the forms which include extra vacation days at South Padre Island. They were attending a 2-day conference, yet had a condo, fees of office, and per diems paid for 5 full days. This practice has continued as recently as 2021 with Beth and Catherine. The records also reveal that taxpayers have paid for lunch and dinner meetings for board members and their spouses, past and present, at restaurants with previous Infomark general manager and at least 1 steak and lobster dinner that Jimmy and Diana Sagnas of Sage Management attended along with Catherine. The fact that only Linda has been called out publicly when other directors that sit on this board today have taken extra beach vacation days as recently as 2021 tells me that a thorough review of the district records for directors' per diems and fees of office was in fact not performed. These beach vacations have been yearly occurrences and clearly documented, and surely spending extra days in a taxpayer-supplied condo would have thrown a red flag and required a thorough review. This leads me to believe that you are targeting Linda Fogg for retaliation regarding what she has uncovered in this district. There is an agenda item tonight for censuring Linda. Spending taxpayer dollars on having this document drafted was never discussed in an open meeting by a board vote, which would lead me to an outsider to believe that Zach is also part of this effort. I'm patiently waiting for the same discussion for all district directors.
Mr. Whittington.
Okay, next up is Allison Winnington.
I didn't sign up to this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Last is Melvin Ellick.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, neighbors. You know, every time we come to one of these things, it becomes very positional, and nobody walks away being better. And I'm not here as a law enforcement officer. I'm here as a neighbor. I do not choose one side or the other, so you will not hear me speak one name and put down another when we have elected all of them. The truth is, we don't know what's going on in the board. We only know what is leaked, which is private information. We only know what is personally shared and then intentionally passed along, and that doesn't serve any of us. At the end of the day, if I did my job that way in service to the community, you would find myself to be indicted for wrongful use of my official office. And what we do know is that we do have new people taking a look at the books, and we hope, as you stated, that the truth will let itself out. What I'm here today is to say thank you to each and every one of you for your position, not to cast stones, not to say one is right more than the other. However, what we do know is that there is something going on, and provided that we are given the truth, at the end of it, I'm pretty sure we will find that where we are is not where we ever intended to be, nor did we vote for. And so to each of you for your time and patience, Zach, welcome to the board. We know that things are already running much better. I will say for the years that I've been listening to these things, we have not gotten any work done as a community because it's always been chaotic. You could not make one statement as a neighbor, whether oppositional or not, without immediately being refuted by somebody's outburst or any one of us outburst. And so I hope that as we continue to move in this very sensitive situation, that we're able to maintain order, respect for one another, and whether we agree or disagree with one another, at the end of the day, our voice will have been heard, the votes will have been cast, and hopefully within the neighborhood, we can continue to reach out for those folks who need our voice. Whether it be Miss Henry, if there's something wrong, hey, you know what? That's what we are here for. And as David said, if he's the only one
10 seconds.
Helping, well, then maybe more of us need to. I don't have a position on it. I just know that we're neighbors, and as long as we're throwing stones, all of us fail. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to close the public communication portion of the meeting. I'm going to move around a little bit tonight. I know that we've got people here from out of town, so I'm going to move things around, but I want to move directly to agenda item number 8 right now, which is the resolution of censure of Director Fobb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the censure notice for the record, but I want to make a statement prior to that. It is unfortunate Linda Fobb's behavior has forced me to take this drastic action. I want to thank Zach Evans, the General Counsel for the district, for providing me the needed guidance when I asked for help. This board, its constituents, and especially the previous General Counsel, were not prepared to handle the constant attacks by Linda Fobb. I regret not starting the RFQ for General Counsel sooner, as this delay allowed Linda Fobb more time to attack this board, its constituents, and ultimately the residents of the WTCMUD1. This resolution of censure is the second time in 15 months we will be addressing Linda Fobb's unacceptable behavior as an elected official. You will recall at the March 17th, 2021 board meeting, this resolution was passed and posted on the district website. Linda Fobb is one of 5 directors serving on the district's board of directors. Linda Fobb does not represent the board and is not authorized to speak on behalf of the district. To obtain accurate information regarding district matters, please contact the Information Management Committee, Megan Dudo and Beth Jones. Okay, the resolution of censure. A resolution of the Board of Directors of Williamson-Travis County's Municipal Utility District Number 1, providing for censure of Director Linda Fobb, providing findings of fact, providing for open meeting. Whereas Williamson-Travis County's Municipal District Number 1 District is a political subdivision of the state of Texas and created and operating under Chapters 49 and 54 Texas Water Code, and whereas pursuant to Section 49.051 Texas Water Code, the district is governed by the Board of Directors, Board, and whereas pursuant to Section 49.057 Texas Water Code, the Board shall be responsible for the management of all the affairs of the district, and whereas the Board finds that throughout her tenure of the Board, Linda Fobb has repeatedly and consistently abused her title of office by publicly making false, defamatory, misleading, and bullying statements about other directors and district consultants in direct violation of Section 1, Paragraph 4, and several other provisions of the district's communications policy, which the Board adopted on March 31, 2021, and which Director Fobb voted in favor of. And whereas during multiple meetings of the Board, Director Fobb openly and falsely accused district consultants of wrongdoing and fraud when no attorney, accountant, or auditor of the district has ever found evidence for any such wrongdoing.
Ms. Frankie, that's your time. Do you want to request additional time from this board?
Yes, I do. I want to
Okay.
read the...
Okay, I'll stop you there. Unless let's just do this on an easy vote. Are there three of you who wish to continue letting Ms. Frankie read? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay, that's three.
Okay.
You got another 3 minutes.
Okay. Any such wrongdoing. Whereas, during a meeting of the board, Director Fobb openly granted that the district's general manager was unqualified and compared the general manager's professional experience to that of a person off the street. And whereas, throughout her tenure on the board, Director Fobb has repeatedly and consistently abused her title of office by undermining the will and actions of the board, circulating rumors and innuendo, and patently false information about the district's enforcement of deed restriction violations, including but not limited to the outcome of her lawsuit against the district relating to deed restriction enforcement, which the 53rd District Court of Travis County dismissed with prejudice. And whereas during an executive session of the board, Director Fobb indicated that she violated the district's attorney-client privilege by discussing then ongoing litigation between the district and the district resident with said resident who was the defendant in said litigation. And whereas Director Fobb, who has threatened to share privileged written attorney-client communications between herself and the district's attorney. And whereas Director Fobb attempted to interfere in the duties and responsibilities of the district attorney by submitting comments to the Office of the Attorney General arguing against the district's authority to maintain attorney-client privileged communications. And whereas Director Fobb has abused her office by submitting numerous requests for fees of office for activities that are prohibited or otherwise do not qualify for a fee of office under Section 49.060 Texas Water Code, and as of this date of resolution has made no attempt or indication that she intends to repay said fees of office to the district's taxpayers. And whereas Director Fobb has abused records retention laws by creating false and misleading documents in which, among other things, she slanders other directors and district consultants and makes patently false statements and other allegations. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of Williamson-Travis County's Municipal Utility District Number 1 that, Section 1, Findings of Fact. The above recitals are true and accurate legislative findings of that fact. The recitals are adopted and incorporated herein for all purposes. Section 2, Censure of the Director Linda Fobb. The Board hereby censures Linda Fobb for the reasons provided above. B, all persons are hereby notified that unless explicitly indicated in writing and by the signature of the President of the Board, Director Fobb neither speaks for nor otherwise represents the Board of Directors as a whole.
That's your time again, Ms. Frankie. Do you wish to request another 3 minutes?
I'm almost done. 3 more minutes, please.
Hands up, 3 votes for favor?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay, you got another 3 minutes.
Okay. All persons are hereby notified that unless explicitly indicated in writing and by the signature of the President of the Board, Director Fobb neither speaks for nor otherwise represents the Board or the District as a whole. C. The Board hereby notifies the District's consultants that henceforth they are under no duty to interact with Director Fobb, whether in person or in writing. D. By adopting this resolution, the Board adopts a vote of no confidence of Director Fobb and finds that she has consistently failed to faithfully execute the duties of her office. Therefore, by way of separate resolution and for reasons provided above, the Board will further consider removing Director Fobb from all district committees and for all officer titles within the Board. Section 3, Open Meeting. The Board has considered this resolution during a duly noticed meeting that was open to the public in compliance with Chapter 551 Texas Government Code and Section 49.063 Texas Water Code. Okay, that is the resolution. I move that it is adopted as written or presented. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes to discuss it. If there are any additions that you want to comment on, I guess that this would be appropriate time. Art, I'll start with you. Do you have any additions that you,
I'll
any
give my
comments?
time to Linda to let her defend herself.
Nope, that's not how this works.
He can pass off his time to her.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, you don't have any comments.
No, not right now.
Okay. Okay, Linda, we'll let you go next then.
I have a statement.
Okay, I know.
The factual basis stated to support some of the purported misconduct is a director's right to have a different viewpoint or point out mismanagement or just generally to express an opinion. There is no policy in place to deny a director that right. I was surprised by the censure document, but I should not have been. I can tell each and every one of my fellow board members and everyone else listening that the accusations leveled against me are without merit. When an elected official is censured, it usually means that the elected official is representing their constituency instead of going along with the powers that be. If the 993 people who elected me to this board were the ones trying to censure me, I'd be humiliated. But they are not, and that is what is most important. I work for the people of this district, not the board. My platform to voters could not have been more clear, and my desire to bring transparency and accountability to the Board of Directors in their dealings with and for the public is no less my mission today than when I ran for this office. The proposed censure is in retaliation for me performing the very duties my constituents elected me to perform, to represent their interests, which I will continue to do to the best of my ability. By proposing and voting on this censure demonstrates a weakness to criticism or any view that may differ from one's own, and they do not welcome any debate or question as to the benefit of their actions to the people whom they represent. When you do so, you may believe that you are tarnishing my reputation, but you only further diminish your own. I have heard this body extol the virtues of having a small government over our neighborhood, that in theory the residents have more ability to engage with us and to have their views and desires heard and considered. I ask that those of you on the board who believe that this representative democracy should be for the greater good of our community and not one that stifles debate and does little to engage with residents except on the most punitive of levels, to vote against this censure which represents everything that is counter to those beliefs. Thank you, Catherine.
Okay, Beth, do you have anything that you would like to say?
I'll let Megan go first. Because she may actually say something before you say.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Okay. I support and intend to vote on this resolution, to vote yes on this resolution tonight. And since I think this action is unprecedented in our district, I feel I owe the public an explanation as to why I support it. A municipal utility district is in the ecosystem of United States governments at the very bottom, but it is my conviction that despite that, and possibly in fact because of that, It is critical that we uphold a government that operates for the people and that is up to the high standards we have for all government in this country. As publicly elected officials, we have an obligation to preserve the integrity of our government because a functional government is an accessible, transparent government. A functional government maximizes use of resources to preserve people's health, safety, and welfare. And because MUD board directors are so close to the people we serve, we have an invaluable opportunity to do those things really well. My support for the resolution of censure tonight has nothing whatsoever to do with disagreements over policy. I support the censure because I am vehemently opposed to a brand of leadership that relies on shame, humiliation, and fear as a means to establishing power. The research is clear on the corrosive effect of such behavior on society, diminishing our capacity to feel empathy, to hold ourselves accountable, to function openly and honestly, all things vital to a government for the people. And I have witnessed the corrosion firsthand. Rather than the district becoming more responsive to the needs of the people, we have, in the last 18 months alone, expended enormous resources in direct response to the actions of a single board member. Resources in the form of real, hard taxpayers' dollars, but equally as harmful have been the opportunity costs associated with managing the day-to-day chaos brought by this same board member. These expenditures have little return on investment, but are unfortunately a necessary defensive response, which has diminished our ability to deliberate as a 5-person board on the best possible way to spend the public's resources. The relentless attacks on people's character, the threats of retaliation, the accusations have resulted in an environment so toxic to public engagement that many formerly active community members have simply walked away. Many people who have otherwise wanted to be involved won't even try, and those of us who are here are still here in the arena are shut down, always on the defense. These things are the opposite of a functional, accessible, transparent government. I suspect I speak for more than myself when I say that voting on this resolution puts me in an uncomfortable position, but this is not the government our people deserve. The real trench work of leadership requires human collaboration, a willingness to co-create the society you want with those who share it. For those who strive instead to breed fear and distrust, to undermine the integrity of our district rather than work hard to build it up for the people we serve, I have no choice but to use my voice and my vote to hold those people accountable.
Wow. Very eloquent, thank you. Beth, did you have
I think what I want to add to that is when I took office, I knew that it was not going to be an easy task when I was asked to take over. But one thing I didn't know, and you guys touched on it today, was abuse. And the neglect that you think that some of our residents have is what we have been receiving from the public. Because the information that's been leaked, that's a government entity that we're only supposed to have within us, has been shared with each of you. And you're here because you've been shared something that should have never been shared with you. But what's even worse is when people sit outside your home and you're afraid to leave your home because you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're going to do or what they're going to say or what you're going to do to your
Ms.
children.
Jones, will you pause, please? Mr.
I
Flores,
agree.
this is your one warning for tonight, okay? If I see you make any more hand signals, any more faces, I'm going to ask the board to remove you, and I'll have that deputy remove you. Is that clear?
Especially for the one that has harassed my children, Mr. Flores. And that all came from you. And for you to think that it's okay to tell these people what happens here is not okay. And for you to have other people threaten my family, how dare you? We're doing the right thing.
Point of order.
You're right, point of order. I said what needed to be said. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think my resolution speaks for itself. I am hoping that the actions that we take tonight are going to help us move forward in working together as a board. I think one of the problems that Linda Fobb has had in her life is that she's never had consequences. There have never been consequences as a result of bad actions. And tonight, there are going to be consequences as a result of bad actions. So, I'm ready to call the vote.
What did you say?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, you did.
I'm not talking to you.
I heard it too. It's okay. I saw it. It's one for her too.
It's
It's time,
Suzanne, we call a vote.
Not to say the FU word,
Okay.
sorry.
Excuse me, Deputy, will you remove this lady, please? I need a vote from 3 of you to remove that woman right there.
One up.
And I think it's important to understand.
Every single one of you, shit.
Should we be arrested, please?
I guess what I was going to say is removing should be from the property.
Forever.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. It needs to be from the property. Okay, let's go ahead and call the vote, please.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Director Ludo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Fogg?
No.
Director Medrano?
Those 3-2, the ayes have it.
Okay. I have one more resolution relating to the disciplinary actions we have just taken against Director Fobb. Because of the actions this board just took and Linda Fobb's admission to this board of violating attorney-client privilege of the district, in the future, Linda Fobb cannot be trusted to keep the attorney-client privilege of the district. Therefore, I make the following motion. I move that Linda Fobb be excluded from all executive sessions where the board will be receiving legal advice and status updates from general or special counsel on all deed enforcement actions. This board considers Linda Fobb's violation of attorney-client privilege to be a serious ethics breach. Future violations of attorney-client privilege must be prevented as violations will result in the waste of significant taxpayer dollars. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'll start with you again. Art, do you have anything to add to my resolution?
Okay, so I want to clarify some things. So as far as this is concerned, we're going to remove her from the executive sessions. She's a director still.
Right. We can't do anything about her being a director because she is an elected official. But she has said to us that she has violated the attorney-client privilege. She has worked against the whole attorney-client privilege of the district. She has proven that she cannot be trusted to keep the attorney-client privilege of the district. Therefore, to protect the district, I'm asking that for deed enforcement events only, that we keep her from executive sessions.
So we have proof that she has.
She admitted it to us.
That's not true.
Yes,
It is true. It's on tape.
That's not
Hold on, one at a time. Mr. Medrano has the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have proof that she made a statement saying,
Yes.
I told
Yes.
one of our constituents about
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So she'd be removed from all executive sessions.
As it relate, my.
Only dealing with deed restrictions.
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask her to
Yeah.
answer that?
Yeah. All of us are gonna.
Answer that allegation.
That is a patently false allegation.
Like,
Patently
why?
false. I would love to know what meeting video you're talking about so I could watch it if it's so been recorded, because that is emphatically not true. And all you have to do is make accusations and get 3 hands in the air and you can do what you want. I can't stop that. But what I did do is I contacted the TCEQ to find out if you even had a legal authority to prevent my participation as a duly elected member of this board in any matter of this board. And the answer I got was no. And they suggested that I ask Zach Evans for the statutory authority that would allow you to exclude my participation from full membership of this board. And I'll write it down, Zach, as soon as you give it to me.
Okay.
Art still has.
Okay.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Is that your only argument there?
Yeah, that's just patently false.
Okay. Okay. Megan?
I believe the thing we're referencing unfortunately happened in executive session. So there
Exactly.
is no video of it, but we were all here for it. Bill Flickinger was here for it. We have witnesses to that effect.
Yeah.
And I submitted a written report, violation of the communication policy, to Bill Flickinger in writing after that happened. I still have the email, which I can provide.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't have video of it because it was in executive session that she admitted to having done it.
But there will be meeting minutes of that executive session.
No, there's no.
There's
There's
no
a
record of,
Ms. Dudo has the floor.
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I have to say. So unfortunately, all we have is
Just to verify an executive.
the word, all the rest of us heard, and our attorney at the time heard and informed her
Yeah.
that it was a violation of attorney-client privilege at the time.
Yes.
That is not true.
Can we disclose what that?
Ms.
Yeah.
Dudo
Yeah, yeah.
Ms. Dudo has the floor. She's
Yeah.
got 1 minute left.
Well, I don't want to say,
Or two,
since
excuse me.
it did happen in executive session, I don't want to say anything that breaches that, so,
That's probably for the best.
okay. So I won't say anything about the specifics because I can't.
Yeah. Beth, do you have anything?
We've already said it.
Okay. Then,
I think Ms. Fobb actually has not had it.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She was responding to Mr. Medrano, but I don't think it was actually allocated
Okay,
for 3 minutes.
that's fine, that's fine.
So, lawyers, particularly those who represent elected and appointed officials, have a solemn duty to the public to advise their clients and to ensure they do not allow themselves to become the tools by which those officials seek to undermine democratic governance. The inherent right of a member of a governmental body to attend all meetings of that body, including executive sessions, makes exclusion inappropriate. We have identified no statutory grant of authority to exclude members. Thus, any effort to exclude a member based on fears of a failure to maintain confidentiality would be legally risky. We therefore conclude in response to your fourth question that a governing body may enforce the confidentiality of executive session through the judicial remedy provided by law. Again, the TCEQ has suggested to me that I ask Zach Evans for the statutory authority that allows the governing board of this MUD district to exclude me from full participation in their meetings.
Okay.
Do you have that for me, Zach?
No, because it's not in statute. It's established by case law.
Okay, can I have that?
Go ahead.
I don't have anything else to add. She was responding to you.
Oh, you don't have it for me?
I'm done talking to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Responded and I finished.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like the case law so I can look it up.
Okay, acknowledge that you would like that.
Okay. I'm ready to call the vote.
Director Medrano?
Yes.
Director Bob?
No.
Director Frank?
Yes.
Director Udo?
Yes.
Director Jones?
Yes. Okay.
Ayes have it, Madam President.
Okay, 8B, reconstitution of the board. Unless another board member has a slate of candidates that they would like to put forward, I'm prepared to put forward a slate of candidates. Okay. I nominate the following slate of candidates. President, Catherine Franke. Vice President, Art Medrano. Treasurer, Megan Dudo. Secretary, Beth Jones. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Let's start with Beth. Do you have any comments?
Thank you.
Okay. Megan.
No comments.
Linda.
No comments.
Okay. Art.
No.
Okay, let's call the vote.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Bob?
No.
Director Medrano?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 8C, reconstitute committee assignment resolution regarding same. Okay, all of us, have we had an opportunity to look over the resolution that is going to govern our definition and membership of committee assignments? This is a change in terms of how we've been working in the past. It has just been a discretionary thing totally by the president, and I could move you around at will. Now we're going to be having assignments for set terms, and it's going to be a much more transparent process process for committee assignments. The only Exhibit A was attached and where I added my proposed committee assignments. The only, there's a new committee called the Stormwater Management Committee. It was my intention that this was going to be a committee that was sort of in conjunction with the Infrastructure Committee, so I'm gonna make the recommendation that we add the same committee members to that committee, and that would be Art Redrano and myself. So would somebody like to make a motion about this resolution?
I make a motion.
Okay.
That's the resolution.
Okay, make your motion, Art.
I make a motion to assign Art Madrano and Catherine Frank to the management committee.
No, that's not what I was asking.
Oh, what are you asking?
She's asking about the resolution as a whole.
Yeah, I
as
need
well as
somebody
the-
to.
all the committee
Yes,
assignments.
all of it.
I'm not the one to do
Okay. All I'm asking is for somebody to adopt the resolution as presented. How about that?
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay.
You're making a motion?
I'll make
Yeah.
a motion.
Okay.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Beth, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. Do you have any comments?
I do not.
Okay. Megan?
My only comment is about the Stormwater Committee, and I wonder if there's any value, since there's a lot of overlap in the kind of Infrastructure Committee and the Parks Committee. When we talk about the park plan later tonight, you'll hear a lot about the ponds and, future of the ponds kind of stuff, and that relates back to stormwater management in a lot of ways. And so I wonder if there's any value in having the Stormwater Committee be kind of like one person from infrastructure plus one person from parks, and I would volunteer myself, but I don't, if both of you are like really pumped to be on it, I don't want to, or if there's any issues with quorum, but.
No, I'm actually, you know what, that actually makes a lot of sense, and I'm totally open. So how do we do this? Do we make an adjustment to who's on that committee?
Yeah, so you just need to make a motion to that effect.
After?
No, I would do it now.
Okay.
And we'll revise the exhibit according to how y'all vote.
Okay. So how about we put Art and you on the Storm Water Committee, and then just sort of make it a practice that one person from each of those, one person from Parks and one person from Infrastructure then serves on the Stormwater Committee. That actually makes sense. Good idea. Okay, so do we need to make a...
Did he hear you?
So I need to make a...
Yeah, I'd say, Art, you're the maker of that motion. Are you amenable to that amendment to your motion? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And Ms. Dudo, are you amenable to that amendment?
Okay. Okay.
That's what you need.
Okay, we're good. Okay, so,
Ms. Fobbs, or Mr. Madrano, or you.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm good. So, Linda, do you have any comments about this resolution?
No.
Okay. Art, do you have any more comments about this resolution? Is that a no?
I do not.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the vote.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Fobb?
No.
Director Madrano?
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to, bop around on the agenda, and we're going to jump over to the 11, which is the Parks, the committee reports, and this is from the Parks Committee because we're going to have Virginity come up since we know that they're here from from Dallas, I believe.
Yes.
No, did you have something that you were going to run on the projector?
I do.
Okay, you've got
Yes,
it?
yes.
Okay.
Just everyone in the back row, that thing's gonna come down, so watch it. Just the back row. Megan, do you want one or A or B first? Or does that matter? Appendix A or B?
Just the
park
base
plan.
document, yeah.
Yeah.
So while that slide is going down, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Tim Wright. I'm from Purdue. We were contracted to undergo this Parks Master Plan. I also have Marshall Hines with me as well. So we had a really good time putting this plan together. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to just give an introduction to ourselves and to what kind of the big ideas were with undergoing this plan. And I'm just going to show a few sections of the document so that when you're digging into it as a community, and I know that I think it's been shared with the board and the public a couple days prior to today, and so when you go to review that plan, you can have a sense and already have an understanding of what's in that plan and how it can be used for the future. And so, as Virginity, we are a planning and engineering firm with a focus on resource consciousness. And our goal in our plans is to bring people and perspectives together to plan for our future. And so, the big idea behind this plan, and something that we talked with Megan and Beth a lot, is that we really wanted the community engagement to be at the center of this plan. And so we had extensive survey efforts and outreach efforts to really make this a plan of the people. And we think that's one of our biggest values, and we shared that value with the committee members and with the WUD board members that we worked with. And so thank you so much to those who worked with us and to those who responded to all the online surveys. In total, we had 2 surveys that we put out, and we got 337 responses on the first one and 265 on the second one. I can say from all the plans that we do that that's an amazing turnout, and I think that's really a testament to your community, and I'm so glad that we got so many responses. So if you could go to, I believe it's page, let's see, the PDF pages are a little bit different than, to go maybe 1 or 2 more pages to the introduction section. It should be page 8, I believe. There we go. So I want to present just the major goals of this process, of this plan. Like I said before, our first goal was to engage and interact with the community, and that really set the foundation for developing this plan. We had a site visit about a year ago where we visited all the parks and had several focus group meetings and met with people that used each of the parks, and these were publicized throughout the citizens in the district. So that was the first goal of this plan. The second was to develop a realistic implementation strategy. And so throughout those surveys, we got many ideas from the public. Our surveys consisted of several multiple choice questions, as well as some open-ended responses in which citizens could give their input and give their ideas for what could be implemented in each park. And so those ideas made it into our implementation strategy and some implementation recommendations that can be undertaken in the future by the MUD. And then finally, our third goal was to align budgeting for the parks with desired outcomes. And so when we came up with some of the goals of the district based on what we heard from the community, we wanted to evaluate the current MUD budget and look at how these things that were desired through our community engagement efforts could be implemented into the budget. And so, we don't want this plan to be something that just sits on the shelf. We want it to be something that the members of this community really take a hold of and kind of understand where their money is going and how that aligns with the budget patterns that the MUD is already doing. And so I just wanted to provide that information up front that gives that idea. If you could go back to the table of contents real quick. So as you're reading through the document that was shared, I just want to give an overview of kind of the way it reads. Section 1 is the context and rationale. If you want an idea of why this plan was done, the goals that I just read, or the planning process, we kind of have 4 phases that we moved through. That's a great place to start. Section 2 is the WTCMUD1 parks. This is our evaluation of the existing parks and the MUD district as a whole and how each of the parks fits into the context of this district. And we have park-by-park assessments that kind of go through, okay, what is generally in this park and what challenges and opportunities may be in each of these parks. That's okay. Doing a great job. And so, so that's what this section is all about. And then section 3 is strategy and implementation. Now this is really where the plan packs a punch. This kind of brings all these concepts together and
That's recording the meeting?
That's not his property. You can leave it right there, sir.
And so the strategy and implementation section goes through the 5-year park goals and ways to meet the needs in the parks and presents these implementation ideas. And then again, going back to the goals of the plan, talks about how to implement these into your existing parks budget. At the end of the document, when talking with the MUD board and or with the Parks Committee, I'm sorry, we wanted to separate 2 appendices. If you took all of the document, it'd be about 200 pages long, which is not really the most digestible document. And a lot of what's in Appendix A and B is supporting information. It talks about how we did our public engagement. It has the text of the surveys. It has basically what we did during those community engagement processes. And so if you'd like to look at that and have some curiosities and want to dig deep into exactly how we did the community engagement, then that's a great place to look. And then finally, Appendix B, which is also will be shared as a separate document, is the Anderson Mill West Park exhibit. As part of our work, we were contracted to look at Anderson Mill West Park a little bit more in depth, since it's the flagship park of the district, and take some of those implementation ideas that apply to Anderson Mill West and put them into a map and show where these different things could go. There's also, over several years in the MUD, there's been a lot of discussion about water features or pools and all that. And so we were given some of those previous studies and just provided some information on a cheaper option, the splash pad. And so that, again, is in Appendix B. And then finally, before I close, if you could scroll closer to the end, it should be, let's see, it should be 35 maybe. Let's see where that is. Might be it. Keep going. There we go. Yeah, 5-year park goals. Okay, so I wanted to just quickly run through a few items in the implementation section, since, like I said, this is really where the plan packs a punch. I think based on the plans that I've worked on in the past, and I help run a nonprofit in my community. It's really important for residents with a plan like this, and even board members, to find a particular goal that really resonates with them. And when people find those specific action items that they really are passionate about, that's when your plans can really come to life. And that's when the ground up support can give board members and staff a lot more energy and motivation. And this section of the 5-year park goals is a great place to go if you're looking for a specific goal that was, again, reflected in the community engagement that maybe you want to advocate for and continue to push for in the MUD. And so these 5-year park goals set the stage for the next page, which is the 3 most significant needs that we saw in our community engagement. And those 3 needs were to first to optimize and improve the existing park system. We heard a lot of input that a lot of residents wanted to see the things that you already had in the districts maintained, maybe not to maintain your existing assets really well until new projects added new things to your parks, and so that was a key need in the district. The second one was improving and expanding access. This had a lot to do with the way the different parks were connected to each other. The gentleman earlier that mentioned crosswalks. Several of those type of projects made it into the plan as well. The parks are really, if you can't get to them safely, then they're not a whole lot of use. And so that was a major thing that we saw reflected in the community engagement. And then finally, aligning park programming with the community. We got a lot of feedback that there was a lot of park programming that went on in the district, but there were some times when that programming didn't exactly line up with what people wanted to do. And so this need emphasized that the districts needed to continue to prioritize communication of the park system, let people know what's going on, and in that process get some feedback on how that programming can be a little bit more reflective of the community. On the next page, so this is an introductory page that sets up the next 3 pages, which is our implementation matrix. These are the different ideas that the community members presented that could be implemented in the parks. And this spreadsheet is a little bit, it takes some looking at, but we were able to categorize each of these implementation ideas by a few different categories, and so this page kind of gives almost like a legend or a key in how to look at the implementation opportunities. We separated them into high, medium, and low priority projects, as well as the time it took to implement. Several of these took longer to implement than others, and so that page is really important if you want to dig into that implementation opportunity matrix. And then finally, if you go down, so there's the matrices. You can see that it doesn't show up super well in that PDF since it's rotated, but it's okay. But it has that key as well to kind of help you digest it. And then finally, if you could go to the funding and community involvement page. The final section of the plan was looking into how exactly all these implementation ideas could be implemented year to year. And so and Megan helped a lot with this section and just looked into how some of these projects could be integrated into budgeting. And so it's important to emphasize that this is a guide for future decision making and not intended to bind the board to a particular action, but how the budget can be done in a way for the park specifically to implement these projects that were mentioned in our community involvement. So that's the presentation that I have prepared. Am I receiving comments now, or?
Yeah, can I just speak real quick to
Yes.
what we want from tonight?
Yeah.
So the goal for tonight is we don't want any action from the board this evening. We just wanted to have an opportunity for Tim and Marshall to come and present the document, to give an opportunity for the board members to ask any preliminary questions they have, and then the objective is to take the next month to allow for public comment and questions, and then we're going to revise the document to generate a final plan document and bring it to the board in July for final adoption. So I guess if the board has any questions, then Tim and Marshall are here to answer that. And also I just want to say real quick, I want to give a shout out to our resident advisory committee. Gerald Burgess is here tonight. He's on that committee. We had other members as well, and They worked extremely hard, and they were instrumental to this process. They were promised a 6-month process, and they worked tirelessly for over a year on this. So I just want to say thank you to them. It's been awesome working with residents on this. So I'll hand it over to you if anyone has questions.
Yeah, I was just going to ask a quick question. When you were talking about, the programming of the park system, what were you talking about? And so the thought came to, we've got too many, like tennis instructors hogging the tennis courts? Is that what we're talking about versus they're available for residents? Is that what that was sort of about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the focus was, like movie nights and like events in the park, not necessarily like use of the tennis courts and stuff like that, but more of the open spaces, and I think opportunities for community members to have their own events maybe and know kind of what that process might be.
Okay. Okay, so then 4th of July events sort of falls into that whole concept. Okay, thanks for the clarification. Did anybody else have any questions? Art, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask? Okay.
I did.
Go ahead.
I appreciate the level of detail in your plan. It really was refreshing to look at. But it didn't include maintenance, operations, revenue, and expenses, which are paramount to the long-range cost of a park system. Without an estimate into the future cost of maintenance and operations and expenses, along with anticipated revenue, a well-formed decision to determine if the plan is fiscally responsible or cost-effective over the life of the amenity is not possible. Real data exists to be able to include these known costs into the existing park plan and should be included for a complete picture. A summary sheet that shows total cost per year would give the reader a quick glance at the monetary value of each year's projects. I've added all 5 years together and came up with a bit over $1.3 million to implement this plan at today's value on the dollar. That can only increase in today's economy. More importantly is the ongoing maintenance and operations costs for what currently exists and what's proposed for the future. The final document should include total costs so residents will have a better understanding of the cost of parks and ponds in the district and how that money is spent. I actually really like the plan. I don't think it was outrageous. Nothing in it was outrageous to me. But what I don't see anywhere in the plan is the cost to maintain all of that. And we pay quite a bit in maintenance now, so what would that add to the budget if we started implementing these things?
Yeah, we can look into that. Maintenance wasn't, we looked at it a little bit, but we can definitely add some things.
There are some known costs in the district that you might be able to pull from to figure out what that is.
Yeah, and I will say too that, for most of these things, the added maintenance costs are fairly incremental. The one thing that we do not have a good answer for at this point is the maintenance and operating costs associated with some sort of water amenity, and that's why the sort of objective for, the way that we framed it in the plan is this is something that a large portion of the community really wants to see, but we need to look in, before we make any sort of decisions about whether or not we're going to pursue that, we need to figure out, because with that item, it's not the installation cost that's a concern, it's the maintenance and operation costs, so.
I would think too, you need to finalize it, get everybody's input, finalize the plan, then you can apply maintenance and operation costs to it, I wasn't really bothered by the fact that it wasn't there. It was a good plan, but it's just your initial,
starting point?
There you go.
But if we spend $1.3 million in 5 years to implement the whole thing, it would behoove us, in the interest of transparency, to tell the constituents what that's going to cost.
I agree, but at this stage, I think we have to finalize what we want to do first.
Well, and how can we make that decision unless we know what the total costs are? it's in the interest of transparency that I ask for that information up front. Not that I think that the plan is extravagant, I don't. I think it's actually much more benign than I thought it would be. So I'm happy with it.
I appreciate the question, actually. This is something that, as a company, we care a great deal about. So it's something that we feel very strongly in the same direction that you're speaking about. So we certainly don't have any problem finding a way to implement that at this scale. A couple of things that I would point out. Megan's point, I think, is quite good in that the vast majority of the projects that are suggested in implementation are the kinds of things where they don't have a significant on their own amount of ongoing maintenance. That said, there are at least 3 or 4 items which I think that we could do a good job of identifying the longevity of those items. Things like purchasing a screen for movie night is one of the ones that's in here. You know, those things are only going to last so long. And so it's less about determining what the maintenance cost is and more about how long it will last, thus when you will need to replace it. So that, in addition to, I'm certain that we can get numbers about sort of general maintenance costs associated with things like the water feature. And I think what might be best is to go back through the list and have us see if we can identify average length of life on some of the items that don't have a bunch of built-in maintenance associated with them. Because that gives you a better idea about budgeting for the future, which is as much a part of this as anything else. So I think that's very doable, don't you, Tim? Does that sound like it would hit on what it is you're aiming for?
I think it might.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let's try it.
That's all I had. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you for coming.
I'm going to jump back to agenda item 4, director's fee reimbursement. Take any action necessary. Okay, so this is something that we're coming back to. I did after last month's meeting. Director Medrano and I were tasked with doing a more deep dive review of Linda Fobbs per diems. I put a spreadsheet up on the drive. I don't know if everybody got a chance to look at it, but I printed out the pivot table that I generated so we could each talk about it. So what I wanted to do was just at an overview tell you what I did and so let me read this. When I brought this issue to the board, to the attention of the board, I really thought this issue was nothing more than a record-keeping cleanup task. All board members usually max out their per diems at the beginning of summer, but once I jumped into this issue, I realized it was more complicated than I originally thought and was forced to review Linda Fobbs per diems in total. For the current fiscal year, Linda Fobb has been reimbursed 44 per diems, 22 of which are inappropriate because they were for meeting prep, the second per diem requested for the day, or they were totally unrelated to the district's business, like her attempt to interfere with the general counsel protecting the client-attorney privilege of the district. I understand the argument that the board approved these per diems, but an audit has shown mistakes were made, and I'm not willing to tell the taxpayers of the district we didn't attempt to rectify the situation. Prior to her election to the board, Linda reviewed the per diem records for the board. She has accused this board of many things, but not once for inappropriate per diems. She doesn't like the board going to conferences and she doesn't like us having meals, but she has never teared into us for claiming per diems that were not appropriate. So the result of this is that we have come up with we've come up with an updated fee of office reimbursement form, which I'm going to ask Megan to present. And we have a resolution that is in much more detail about what the rules are for reimbursements. So has everybody had an opportunity to review the reimbursement, the resolution for that? Okay.
Where is that on the agenda?
It is review Director fees.
Not the resolution. Where's the resolution?
It
Well,
doesn't need to say resolution, it says to take appropriate action on the following matters. That is a
Right.
catch-all.
Okay, right.
Please and thank you.
So, okay, so Art, you were involved with, in working on this resolution. Would you like to present it?
Yeah, well, based on the information that you provided, I went back to April 21 and looked at all the per diems that Linda had submitted. Some of them, do fall under the scenario of preparatory meetings, right? She has well-documented hours for communication policy violation. Here's another example, RFQ that I wrote to reviewed it. Those are the qualifiers that I think are just part of being a board member to have information to come to the board with.
Right.
So I don't think you should be reimbursed for those.
Right. Okay, so I was actually asking if you wanted to make a motion to present the resolution, our new, our policy about.
Yeah, let me find it. There it is. Meeting resolution?
Right. We've all read it. I don't think you need to read it. I'm just saying, do you want to make a motion?
Hold on. Okay. This is the one, this is the per diem request, right? This is the one we looked at yesterday and we sent to Zach.
This one. It says,
Okay.
resolution of the Board of Directors
It's
regarding.
whereas, it's the whereas.
Yeah, the whereas.
Do you have a copy of it? Let me read it.
Yeah. He doesn't need to read, you don't need
I
to read.
did review it
Yes.
today. Okay. So I don't have to read the whole thing, I can just.
No, exactly. Yes.
Okay. I hereby motion to approve this resolution for the Board of Directors, Municipal Utility District regarding directors' fees and expense reimbursement policy, providing findings of the fact, providing all the open meetings. Anybody want to second?
I'll second that. Yeah, go ahead, that's fine.
I'll second that.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, Beth, do you have any comments about this new resolution? That's what we're talking about right now.
I've read it, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, where'd Megan go?
She went to the restroom, she'll be right back.
Okay. Why, did you have any comments you want to make about it?
I do, I have a statement.
Sure.
While I was waiting for Zach to send me all of the fees of office forms that he reviewed, including his notes, I contacted the public counsel at TCEQ to get their interpretation of the Water Code 49.060 that covers the director's fees of office. The attorney for TCEQ agreed that the language includes deliberation, but did not interpret it as automatically excluding anything else. The part he had more difficulty understanding was how the attorney for the district has the authority to overturn past decisions by the board. The meeting minutes from December 16, 2020, agenda item 28, records where the prior attorney advised that there must be a form of interaction involved to be a qualifying fee of office. The meeting video captures the full discussion. Every one of my fees of office involved interaction with either the full board in a one-way communication or back and forth dialogue with the consultant, contractor, or regulatory agency, and all the information I produced from my oversight work was shared with the full board and the attorney each month so that they all are aware of what the records demonstrate, specifically with the bills and invoices and residents' rights violations and deed enforcement. It is those same meeting minutes that the board in a 5-0 vote approved my conducting a full evaluation of Sage Management's performance when measured against their contract, the district rules, and the residents' rights. All of that work was pre-approved, with the interaction being monthly reports of my findings. My hands are tied until I can see the totality of Zach's work and what he reviewed. What he sent forward was only my fees of office and not indicative of an objective review of all board members' fees of office submissions for the same period.
Okay. So the only comment I have to make is, Linda, you are correct. We did create an ad hoc committee to look at, do a SAGE performance review. And that committee was shut down the next month after Director Dudo reported back to me she no longer wanted to be on that committee because it was very obvious that you were on a witch hunt and you had already decided what the outcome of that review was going to be, and she wasn't going to be part of it. So I shut that down the next month. And your response to me was, well, I'm going to continue my evaluation, and it's like, that's fine, but it was no longer an authorized activity.
The minutes don't reflect that it was, I asked for permission to do it alone, and I invited Megan to join in that review, and she subsequently did withdraw from that. But my approval was for me to do it alone, and there was never a board vote to rescind that. But if you can find it in the minutes, I'll be happy to look at it. Otherwise, it's just more innuendo.
I disagree.
Well, of course.
So, okay, so I think we're ready to call the vote on the resolution where we're going to have a resolution for the policy. Everybody's had a chance to talk?
Did everybody read what was not included in the per diem? I mean, you specified 5 items. Did everybody understand those?
Oh,
Are we
okay.
clear on those?
Okay, what are not included? Routine or administrative activities such as execution of documents, self-preparation of meetings, activities required a minimal amount of time, including document review for district committee meetings, research regarding projects which have not been authorized by the board of directors, communications with state agency, phone calls, meetings, other activities less than 30 minutes duration, review and/or producing documents in response to a Public Information Act. So those are going to be the activities that we are definitely saying do not qualify.
Per the resolution, right?
Yes, per the resolution, yeah. Okay, so are we ready to call the vote?
Maria Jones?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Cobb?
Yes.
Director Madrano?
Yes.
Ayes have it.
Okay, so the take necessary action, so we've one more thing. Okay, so 4B, update fees of office and the reimbursement request. Can you take care of that?
Oh, sure, yes. So we did, Catherine and I, on bills and invoices, did revise the request for reimbursement form, just basically simplified it. It was a little bit more complicated than it really needed to be. So we took out that second table for things that
aren't covered.
Yeah, it can all be covered in a single table. And so, but other than that, it really hasn't changed. The only other thing that we did change, which is actually something that Michael's been wanting us to change for a while, so we just took the opportunity while we were amending it to add that, and that is to remove the mileage table. Because Michael has a lovely spreadsheet that has the proper calculations embedded in it that he prefers from an accounting perspective that we use for any mileage. Right, leaves a better auditing trail. So, so if you request mileage reimbursement, you just fill out Michael's form instead of this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I think everybody's had a chance to see it, correct? Because I think we put it up. It was put up in the appropriate folder somewhere, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it.
Was it not?
Okay.
Okay, well, we can,
Do I even have it?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah, if it was an oversight, then.
Well, okay, so like I said, the only thing that's changing is, all we're doing is removing the second table.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's.
Y'all can still adopt it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Y'all discussed it.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable adopting it, you can
Yeah.
adopt it.
Yeah, okay, make a motion.
Okay, motion to approve the amended fees of office request for reimbursement form.
Okay, I'll go ahead and second that. Beth, do you have any comments to make about it?
No, I'm glad that we did it.
Okay. I don't have any more comments to add about it. Linda, do you have any comments to add to it?
I can't add a comment if I haven't seen the form. So
Okay, okay. And Art?
I do not.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the vote.
Director Madrano?
Yes.
Director Fogg,
Yes.
Director Frankie,
Yes.
Director Duda,
Yes.
Director Jones.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so the last thing I want to say is, I think the proper solution should be Linda Fobb reimbursing the district for the 22 inappropriate per diems that have taken place during the current fiscal year. Now, I've talked with Michael Luft about this, and there's a little bit of a timing issue, so there would have to be an accounting on his end where he would have to tell us which ones, in order for everything to fall into the proper buckets from an audit point of view. But Director Fobb, an audit has revealed mistakes were made by you, and you were compensated for ineligible activities. Are you willing to reimburse the taxpayers of the
I haven't
district?
seen all of Zach's review work yet, so I
Yes, you have.
can't.
I've sent it to you.
You only sent my fees of office.
That's what I
Zach.
reviewed. You asked specifically
You
for
said you
your
were going
fees of
to
office.
review all district directors for 1 year, so it would be fair. I'm
Did
looking-
review theirs, and there was nothing to note.
I need to look at those.
There's nothing to note.
Well, I
Okay.
can look at that and make that decision.
Okay, then go get the forms.
Okay,
I'll get the form.
as Linda has voiced her decision not to reimburse
No,
the
I
taxpayers
voiced my
of the district.
Ms. Fobb, Ms. Frankie has the floor. You'll get your time.
I'm going to make the following motion. Where an audit has revealed Director Linda Fobb claimed 22 per diems which were ineligible activities during the current fiscal year and has rejected the request to reimburse the taxpayers of the district, I move that the next 22 eligible per diems be applied to the prior paid ineligible per diems. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. So that was Beth. Okay. So Art, let's have a discussion
Okay,
here.
so what you're saying is you're gonna offset the 22 unauthorized,
Ineligible. I don't want to say unauthorized.
Ineligible.
I think ineligible is a better word.
ineligible fees that you want her to either pay them back or
Or,
withhold.
or we're just going to apply, it's
So-
sort of like being in
So her next
the
22
per diems
per diems will not be paid to her. Is
until
that what I
she's out of
understand?
the hole, so to speak. And listen, guys, I'm willing to entertain an adjustment to that, say, for the rest of the calendar year, for the rest of the fiscal year.
Well, and I think Linda has also said that when she reviews it again, then you're not saying no. Is that correct?
No, I didn't say no to
Yeah,
anything. I
that's
have
what
to
I
look
mean.
at all of them because I have seen them through the bills and invoices.
That's why I'm
So I
saying,
know
yeah.
what's in there. But
Mr.
I want
Madrano
to
has the floor.
see Zach's review.
Mr. Madrano has the floor.
So my concern is that she went into making these fee requests with good conscience based on this, right? We all reviewed them and we approved them, or the billing and invoice people approved them. So now we're going to take those back? That's where I
I know you have
I have
the
issues with
consternation, I understand.
Director Madrano and Board, I just want to note that the checks for the last 2 days of office, checks 5532 and 5563, totaling $6,750, so a total of 6,750 is, oh no, I'm looking at the yearly total, sorry, for 1,500 in per diem, so 10 per diems were paid on the system and have been included in your calculation, but have not been released. In addition,
Were approved and not released? Is that what you're saying?
at the board meeting, the board was uncertain whether they needed to approve them, so they've been held. But they were included on the list of per diems that were supplied. And so there are 10 that are already, that are
Under
in the
review.
number that have not, in essence, been paid. We could void those, and then, again, true up based on what actually has been paid in cash, and get to a better number, including the eligible ones from these. And I would note that on the ones that were submitted this month, all 5 meetings that Director Fobb included were
Yes.
eligible. They were board meetings, committee meetings, and training. So, the point seems to be that, and the intent seems to be to get to that Director Fobb is going to continue to be attending meetings, doing work for the district, will have the opportunity, once we true this up, to not be
In the hole? In the hole, yeah.
And I just wanted to point out that these 10 meetings on these 2 health checks, are going to be part of that true up. And then the 5 meetings that she submitted here, which, by the way, I want to first apologize for not making sure that those got processed as part of the board meeting. And second, thank you, Director Fobb, for noting that there were no director checks. I had missed that in my review. So your note got me to where we needed to be. And then just to make this more complicated, on that one I did go ahead and prepare a check, but I only for 2 meetings because she would have been at the 7,200 cap. If we assume that the checks that there were no questions about, and then these 2 that we were holding were all treated at the full, I did not want to issue a check that was in excess of the 7,200 legal limit for the year. But all of these 3 checks could be voided, and we could recalculate working off of the meetings already submitted, and Director Fobb could, in fact, go back and address that if there were any that she has.
Madam President, can I have the floor for a second?
Sure.
So nobody's solicited my opinion on this, but I'm going to provide it anyway. My opinion is that this board, all 5 of you, or whoever was there, you all had the opportunity to review the submissions that Ms. Fobb submitted. And your form specifies specifically, even before y'all altered it, specified specifically what was permitted under the Chapter 49 of the government, or the water code. So everybody had the same information. I am not here to draw conclusions as to Ms. Fobb's motives or lack thereof in submitting those, but again, you all had the same information. You all had an opportunity to review them, but they did get approved. I do think it's incumbent upon each of you to follow the law and submit fees of office requests only for authorized matters that are very explicitly stated under Chapter 49. Is my opinion. Y'all need to leave this alone, move on, go about the district's business, and let this go.
Really?
Related
Yes,
to that,
that is my
I did
opinion.
want to note that the other board members...
Michael, I'm sorry, please. So,
Okay.
if you will, Madam President, if there's a vote to adopt an action, let's get on with it. If there's not, let's get on with it. This
Okay.
is not productive.
Okay, so you're telling me I should withdraw my...
I'm not telling you that, Ms. Frankie.
Okay, so let's do this. Bart. Okay, I will take my attorney's advice and withdraw my motion. Okay.
Ms. Evans, was I speaking, or was it my turn, or after?
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Did I have the
I've
floor?
lost track at this
No,
point.
it's okay.
Please.
Well,
Okay.
my final point, before you guys move on to the other directors, is she didn't do this out of malice. She didn't do this to cheat the district. She was under the impression these were valid fees, right? And we approved them. Now, we've gotten smarter, and we've looked at the issues, and we've come up with a good policy and a good resolution for this. Going forward, that's the way we should apply it. But to not pay her for the fees that she, in this case, really earned, because, we reviewed them, they were approved, and she'll have a different mindset going forward. We all will.
Yeah, you're very generous.
Well, I'm not generous. I'm just saying it's the legal thing to do.
Okay. I will go ahead and withdraw my motion. Let's move to agenda item 6, the consent agenda.
I'm sorry, we skipped the district finance.
Oh, no, we're going to do
Okay,
the
I'm sorry.
consent
I'm
agenda
sorry.
first.
Okay. Apologies.
Megan?
I will just make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Yes, and I will second that. And Beth, do you have any comments? I know that we've got on the consent agenda, we've got the payment of the bills and invoices and the meeting minutes. All of us should have read our minutes. The Bills and Invoice Committee went over, and we'll talk more about issues that we found. But overall, I'm going to say let's approve the bills. Anybody, do you have any minutes, anything to say? Okay, Megan, do you have anything?
Nope.
Linda, do you have any comments?
Yeah, the minutes are missing a motion that was made during the meeting, so I will be abstaining from the vote.
Okay. Art, do you have any comments?
I read the minutes, I didn't catch that minute, that motion that was missing. Billing and, payment of billing and invoices, I did not review that or the quarterly investment report.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call the vote.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Bob?
I am abstaining from this vote because the minutes of May 18th are missing the motion to make trash cans in the street a deed enforcement item. And the motion was withdrawn, but it still needs to be recorded.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you qualified that because I'm going, I thought it was withdrawn. Okay.
And it was withdrawn, you said? And Director Brown?
Yes.
Ayes have it.
Okay, let's move on to agenda item 5, review of the district financials.
3 minutes, Mr. Luft.
Yeah, that's what I was.
3 minutes. Okay.
If you'll jump to page 4 of 5 of the financials, you'll note that financials weren't quite complete. We didn't have legal in this month, sorry. So about 15 to 20,000 in expense. That's the average so far that we don't see. I have no idea what the actual number will be. So if you jump to page 8, instead of being 227,000, almost 228,000 better than budget, we're somewhere around 210,000 better than budget, bottom line. And pretty much all of that is that expenditures are under budget. Worth noting on page 11 that we're almost at 99% collections. We're just slightly ahead of where we were last year. And then page 14, projecting that we'll end at somewhere over 2.6 million in reserves, which is well under where the district wants to get to. Pages 15 through 23 are the checks that are for approval this meeting. Worth noting that I do not have the 3 director per diems that were presented included on this. Again, I apologize. I went ahead and did create manager's checks dated tomorrow for those 3, and they'll show up on your financials next month. And the subcommittee has reviewed the fees of office that were submitted, and I sent them to you as well. So I'll note that the total check register is $355,688.36, and then we have 3 transfers for $23,761, $32,1447, $102,045. I'd note to Director Bob on page 29 that your question, I talked with the Park Subcommittee, and I went back and will be putting those engineering, those small engineering invoices as part of the overall 40,000 budget for the parks, overall parks plan. The specific parks plan for Unity, I'm separating that out, and it's under budget from the 11,000 that only 8,000 has been spent. And then the only other thing I wanted to address was, as a result of the decision not to go ahead and do anything more with Director Fobb's fees of office, am I free to release the 2 from the prior meeting, along with her reimbursement for the training which she refused to take, which had been approved, awaiting resolution of this.
Okay, so it sounds like we're going to need a resolution to release checks because we voted to withhold them. Okay,
Yes.
so I'll make a motion to release the outstanding checks to Director Fobb. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we need to have a discussion? Can we all just say aye?
Aye.
You can always do that.
I'm abstaining from that vote.
Okay. Okay, keep going.
Do you want to take a vote, or do you want to just?
No, we all said aye. I think we all said aye.
I just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Okay.
Okay, so was
That's
it?
all I have.
Oh, wait, okay, we're good, we're good.
So I guess, well, no, you already approved
Yes.
the report is part
Yes,
of the consent
yes.
agenda.
Okay, so old business, 7A, cybersecurity training requirements. Did we get all of that done?
No, I'm missing one.
Okay,
You know who you are.
that's right. Fill out your form.
Yes.
He said with love and peace.
Yes, that's right. Okay, and, 7B is a draft budget. And so,
Somebody else?
Trying to.
okay, so 7B was a draft budget, so what you're going to do, were you going to present something? Michael, what did you mean?
Yeah, traditionally, we begin in July to really begin the work on the draft budget. So
Right.
next month, we need to be in position on that. We want to talk about beginning it here in June. Next month, we'll have 9 months full financials to work off of. But, yeah, we definitely need the Parks Plan, any other committees, wish lists, things that they anticipate will change, potential contract changes, all of that kind of information so that it can be built into the first draft of the budget. Obviously, the board will be reviewing this for the next 2 months.
Right.
And then finally approving in September. But
Okay.
the sooner we get the raw data to build the best base from.
Okay. Okay, so finally, 9, engineers report and possible action items. Herb, you're up.
I'm sorry.
Did I miss something?
You got 8D and E left still.
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. 8D, contract for stage management.
What?
Okay. Okay, so hopefully everybody got a chance to review the sage management contract. And I just wanted to make a comment, if I can find my comment. What's important to, I think, to remember is that Sage Management has been doing a really fabulous job for our community, and they haven't had a pay raise since they started working for us, and they have been working under what I'll call a flawed contract. And the reason I say that is they were hired to perform day tours and night tours, but a mistake in the verbiage of the contract resulted in them only charging for the day tours. So the whole time, and when did you start with us, Jimmy and Diana?
November of 2018.
November of 2018. You exercised the intent of how you were hired, even though you've never charged us for the night tours that you have done. And so the contract that we have we're presenting here is based off of the Fern Bluff deed restriction contract, which Linda Fobb has said in the past she thought was a better organized contract because it was much simpler and easier to read. And so this contract covers day tours, night tours, and then we're addressing the hopefully minor costs of them participating in the fining process, since we're changing the whole invoicing for fines. So does anybody have any comments that they would like to? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself. I move that we adopt the Sage Management contract as it's been presented. Can I have a second, please?
I will second that.
Okay, so Herb, why don't we start with you? Do you have any?
He's not Herb, sorry.
I'm sorry, done that before. Art,
They're both very handsome.
I know, they are.
Is this guy?
Brother from another mother.
Oh,
Yeah, I have nothing.
Okay. And Linda, what are your comments?
I do, I have a comment.
Yeah.
The contract being proposed is significantly reducing the scope of work in the current contract while increasing the compensation by 72%, which is clearly not in the best interest of the district. removing all of the requirements that the provider document violations and enforcement measures, provide monthly reports of their activities within the district, utilize a shared drive for storage of correspondence, reports, and records created by the provider, creates a situation with no controls or oversight protection for the residents' rights as described in the current contract with Sage Management. In my review of this contractor's performance over the past year, which I have shared with all of you, it is undeniable that this contractor has failed to perform the basic service requirements specified in their current contract. I have demonstrated that every month for over 12 months. To remove the items that they did not perform and pay more is not logical and benefits the provider and not the district. It is my belief that this amended service contract that went from $51,000 per year to now in excess of $88,000 per year needs to be competitively bid, and without question, it needs the review of an attorney before engaging in any contractual agreement. And let me clarify, I didn't say the Fern Bluff contract was better. I said in Fern Bluff, they pay $900 a month with a district this size, and their contract says, yes, I have the contract.
Ms. Fogg has the floor.
It literally covers, I understand it only is one small section of Fern Bluff, but the contract reads, you drive every street, just like your contract here does. So I am never going to be in favor of a 72% increase with a reduction in scope of services, adding no additional work, but removing work. Their base fee covered their night tours. Yeah, you say no, I say yes, we disagree respectfully. So my vote for a contract amendment would be bid it first and then get a lawyer to look at it, because what's written is in benefits the provider and not the district.
Can I have the floor, Madam President?
Sure.
So because of my prior representation of Sage, I have had no part or not participated in anything involving this contract, and so this information is new to me regarding the fees. I do think it's appropriate, given the size of the amended agreement, that y'all do at least solicit 3 bids. Obviously, Sage would qualify as one, assuming they wish to continue representing the district or providing services. But if you've got a contract for anywhere between $25,000 and $75,000, you are required to at least solicit 3 bids. So that said, you could make an argument that this is an amendment agreement, and that the water code does speak to contracts in general, as opposed to new contracts or old contracts or amended contracts. It doesn't differentiate, it just says contract. So it'd be my advice to this board that you at least solicit at least 2 more proposals, so that there can be no question that all your actions were prudent.
Okay, so what you're telling me is we have to do an RFP.
No, you just have to solicit. For $25,000 to $75,000, you simply have to solicit 3 bids. What was the proposal?
$88,000?
Okay, for anything over $75,000, then you have to publish. And so it's not necessarily a request for proposals, but you do have to publish notice.
Okay, so what happens if we don't have respondents?
You don't have respondents, you don't have them. So
Okay.
if you solicit, you don't get any responses, you publish, you don't get any responses, then you can defer to whichever bid you got that you like.
Okay. Okay, so.
Can I make a motion then?
Where did we come up with this number? I think you should close that.
Okay. Where do we come up with a number? Well, the number was we came up with a number per house, because that's how this has always been calculated.
And it's the same.
Who negotiated the contract?
Who negotiated?
You restricted?
I thought so. Who did it? Who did the contract?
The DRC committee?
She's asking about.
No, I know what the answer is. I'm asking Catherine to explain it to everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have a problem doing this, I just don't know how to do it. So what I'm hearing you say is I should probably withdraw the motion to accept the contract, and then you're gonna need to give the DRC committee some instructions on what we're supposed to do. Is that in terms for soliciting? Am I
I
saying?
can definitely help you solicit. That's
what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and we can walk you through the publication process. We've got a perfectly good handle on all that.
Okay. Okay. I'm okay with that then.
Can I make a new motion then to do that?
Did you want to withdraw your motion?
Yeah, I'll withdraw the motion. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I move that the district engage a special counsel to review the proposed contract amendment oh, wait a minute, we're not going to do that now. I move that the district submit an RFP, request for proposal, for a deed enforcement contractor for the district, and that the board review the qualifications of that contractor.
Can I just make a point of clarification? You're not actually doing an RFP. An RFP would be for professional services, things of that nature. So all it says is a bid notice, a bid publication. So
Right.
it's a request for bids. It's a little bit
It's a
different.
request for
There is
proposal.
there is some nuance in the terms. So I'm just
Right.
pointing that out for the record.
Right, okay, and,
In other words, this does not have to be some 5-page document
No.
where you're going out, you know.
We can
You're
use
not
the last
you're not
one.
hiring an engineer is what I'm trying to tell you.
That's a professional contract that doesn't get bid, but we are not going, we can use the last RFP that was written to hire them and just modify it.
We already did that in what our proposal was.
If the board would like to task McGinnis with drafting the appropriate solicitation or working with the committee, subcommittee to do that, we can do that. That'd be a good way to move the ball.
okay, let's do that.
Although Ms. Fobb has a motion on the table.
Right,
And
it has.
you're waiting for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm waiting for a second to RFP this service.
Okay, so you make the motion, right? I'll second.
okay. Okay, so we've had a second, so, Art, you want to, what are your comments?
I think because we're past the 75,000 threshold, I think we should put it up for RFQ.
RFP, okay,
RFP. Not qualifications,
No.
but proposal.
yeah.
Use for
Okay,
professional.
did you want any more comments?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, I don't have any comments. Megan?
So just so I get this straight, we don't need to do an RFP, but we are doing an RFP? Is that what the
Okay,
motion
hold
is?
on.
You have to publish
Right,
at
okay.
least, so you're basically putting the public on notice that the district will be soliciting for this particular service. It'll describe in general what the service is. If there's any other detailed documents, that notice has to provide information as to where that additional information is contained. Sometimes it's with the district engineer, sometimes it might be with general counsel. It
Right.
just depends on the circumstances. I would I would recommend here that probably the subcommittee is probably the most prudent entity
Right.
to be the point of contact on that. So you have to publish, but the form of it does not necessarily have to follow an RFQ or an RFP. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so the motion on the table is specific to
An RFP.
an RFP, which is
Yes.
more
More complicated.
complicated than we are required to do.
Right, and I should have been, it says, like, yeah, I agree, I think it's more complicated. Beth, what did you have, do you have any comment?
I do. I think that because of the way that we did this and the way that we looked at it and how much cheaper it was when we figured out what we were not paying them for
Yeah?
and what we were per house, I don't think we should be doing this because we have been underpaying them for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, so it's time to, let's call the vote.
Okay, Director Medrano,
Yes.
Director Cobb,
Yes.
Director Frankie,
No.
Director Judo,
No.
Director Jones.
No.
Okay, I will make another motion, that, the general counsel works with the DRC to come up with to properly publish the request, or what, say that. Does that sound good?
That gets it.
Okay. Can I have a second for that?
I'll second.
Okay, Art, do you have any comments?
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I was getting some technical difficulties there. So what do we,
I didn't get this.
I voted
Sorry.
yes to,
Yeah, the RFP didn't pass, so I made another motion, and the DRC is gonna work with general counsel, and we're gonna properly publish and solicit bids.
And what do you
Will that
call,
cover us then?
what are you calling that? If it's not an RFP, what is that?
Solicit bids.
So it's-
Just solicit bids.
It still gets published for 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's what we're doing, so it's like, okay, so do you have any comments about that?
No.
Okay, Linda, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I don't see the difference between soliciting bids and a request for proposal, but I will certainly explore that to see what the differences are. As long as it's competitive and qualified people are applying, that's the way to go.
Okay. Megan, do you have any comments?
No.
And Beth, do you have any comments? Okay, let's call a vote.
Okay, Director Jones?
No.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Cobb?
Yes.
Director Madrano?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, let's see.
E.
E, yeah, authorizing filing updated district registration form with the TCEQ.
So, Suzanne, remind me what we need to update on this. This is because we're reconstituted the board? Is that
Yes,
what?
it is.
Yeah.
So-
So anytime you change the positions of your officers or your officers have new terms, then you have to update it, or if you change your district consultants and whatnot. So because y'all reconstituted earlier, we'll need to resubmit the district registration form. And we just need a motion from y'all to
Oh.
authorize McGinnis to do that.
Somebody make a motion. Okay.
Go ahead.
I move that we authorize the general counsel to update the required forms with TCEQ about the reconstitution of the board.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
When's the last time it was submitted?
I just submitted it after we became your general counsel.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, call a vote.
Director Madrano?
Oh, yes.
Director Cobb?
Yes.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Ayes have it, Madam President.
And just for clarification, why do you need permission in order to do something that's required like that?
We do it for,
Just,
it's for the minutes. It's for the minutes because it's a required filing with TCEQ. We like to have something in your official minutes that shows that y'all addressed this and y'all
Okay.
y'all did direct us to get it filed. So,
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, 9, engineers report. Her.
Walmart.
Yeah, I should have.
We had the infrastructure meeting on June the 7th. Out of that, there were really only one item that needs to be addressed by action, and the other is notification. The first is we discussed the status of the meter checks, and really Infomark was the one driving this. There are 3 commercial meters that need to be repaired and or replaced. McKenzie's got that information additionally if more is needed. But out of that was the recommendation. IFC was going to make the recommendation to move forward because I believe it had to do more with cost than anything else as maintenance.
So I'm not trying to jumble things around, but I have 2 estimates for the repairs from the same company that did your commercial meter testing, and put in my packet. Both meters, typically for a 3-inch meter, you would do a repair. However, both meters, different brands, are no longer made. They're both obsolete, and they cannot be obtained, and you can't purchase parts for them any longer. And so their recommendation is to replace both meters. Both of those, it's 1201 Brighton Bend is the first address, and 3420 El Solito Parkway is the second. The third meter is one that we can do. We can replace it with a 1-inch meter. It's the low flow side is what's messed up. So that won't need a required motion from Southern Flow. To my understanding, your 1-inch meter, your meters we have in stock, we can use, and if not, we will just purchase one and put it in. It doesn't require any special equipment to do that. 3-inch meters are a little larger, and they do require some special equipment to switch those out. So your 2 estimates, they're the exact same price, $7,855 for both, including the replacement as well as the labor.
Okay, so you're looking for,
The resolution or the recommendation would be to approve $15,710 to Southern Flow to replace the meter at 1201 Brighton Bend as well as the meter at 3420 El Solito. The other one is a 1-inch. It's not a 3-inch. We can do the 1-inch.
okay, can you handle that, Art?
Yes, I make a motion to, what's the name of the company?
Southern Flow.
Southern Flow, that we contract with Southern Flow for what amount?
It's 15,710.
15,710 to, for the installation of 3 commercial meters.
Replacement of 2 commercial meters.
2 commercial meters. It says
Okay,
3 here.
I'll second that. Beth, do you have any discussion?
I do not.
Megan, do you have any discussion?
No.
Linda, do you have any discussion?
How old are the meters that are being replaced?
I couldn't tell you.
How many gallons have gone across them?
I just know that they're not reading accurately.
Yeah,
Either one of
it's
them.
always good to know how long they lasted, because we can budget and plan accordingly if they have a 5-year life, 10-year life.
Well,
Whatever,
but this is
whatever.
in reference to the water loss, right?
Well, it's part of it, but you did the meter calibrations to see if they're reading accurately, and they are not. So yes, that is part of it. It means that it's, whether it's high flow or low flow, they basically say both
Process
these and
elimination.
both. It's not registering the water that's going through it.
Oh, well, again, and I would like to know, I'm not gonna
I can
suggest
get
that we
for
don't
you. I
do
just don't
this.
have it on hand.
That's it.
I'll have the two proposals they gave me.
I'd like to know that. I'd like to know
But
how
it'll be-
old they are.
It's in
and
their actual report. I'm pretty sure one of them, the low flow, is 0%
I'm not
registered.
suggesting we don't replace it, I would just like to know the details.
They're inaccurate, correct?
Both of them are correct.
So they need repair or need replacement.
Both of them need to be replaced. The
Yeah.
parts for repair.
Just want to make sure.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and call the vote.
Dr. Jones?
Yes.
Dr. Duda?
Yes.
Dr. Frankie?
Yes.
Dr. Cobb?
Yes.
Dr. Madrano?
Yes.
Back to you, Herb.
All right, and the last item on here was now that we do have a stormwater management committee, we have scheduled the next meeting for Monday, June 13th. I will forward you that, Art, I believe you've already got the invite. I'll forward it to you and take Catherine on. I'll forward it to the director.
Not June, but September, right?
Correct, September.
September, what did I write, June?
I think you said June or June.
Okay. So I will forward that to Director Guido, and I will cancel Director Frankie from it.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Questions, I'm done.
Okay, 10 is general manager report.
So we've already covered item number 1. The second item, as I'm sure you all know, is the AC in here is broken. We had 2 companies take a look at it, Caprock and Christensen. Christensen was the first. I have proposals in the Google Drive inside of my report. Caprock and Christensen both agreed your system is extremely old and needs to be replaced. However, Christensen only provided for a condenser replacement and a heat pump replacement because that's what they can do. They don't do, I think, the full system replacements. But Caprock indeed does. They provided 3 different options for you to look at. One of them is a full system replacement. That's $12,059.05. They also recommended 2 others that you can go with, but they don't know that they can guarantee the longevity of how long the repair will last because your system itself is pretty old. So you have options to choose from if you would like to make a fast repair. The cheapest option you have is replacing the existing failed compressor, which is the main problem, and that is $4,117.83. And then the middle of the road option is to replace the outboard unit, which would in turn replace the compressor and the condenser with a new heat pump, and that is $6,482.01. I know I just said a bunch of stuff, but if you have any questions.
Okay, so we need a resolution.
You need to replace your AC is essentially the problem. It's the unit on this side of the building, which I couldn't tell you the last time it's been worked on. It hasn't been since I've been here. And I don't have any work orders that show we've done any work for it.
Okay.
Through work order system, so.
Okay, so, I'm sorry,
My recommendation would be, I tried to ask Michael to pull the budget for the building. You have a budget for the building, and I don't think that we've exceeded it. This likely will if you go with the full system replacement. But we do keep a budget for the building every year, and I don't think we've billed hardly anything to it. For maintenance of the building.
Do we have an invoice in here for replacing?
You have an estimate in my packet.
Okay, where, do you know the page? Oh, wait.
It's between pages 14, 15, 16, and 17 are the 3.
Who's it for?
So our choices are replace everything, replace half of it.
Essentially, yeah.
And I could have sworn that we did.
That side.
Okay.
It was
So,
that side the first time.
okay, so we're talking about replacing everything on this side.
Correct.
Okay.
If you did a full system replacement, it would be everything.
On this side.
You have two, they operate on both sides of the building.
Can you get us the date on that air conditioner? Because they are marked with the date. They don't last forever and they take a lot of
Yeah.
sun,
Should last
so,
at
but I
least
want to know how old it is.
Should last
And what
like
the
15
brand
years.
is, because if it's a carrier and failing, then we don't want to do another carrier.
I don't think it is, from what I recall looking at it, but I can do that.
I'm sure it's the original unit from when the building was.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
How old
Yeah.
is the building?
The build is, it's more than 20 years old.
That's a good life
I
on
was
there.
gonna say, I know the date, because I had to look it up one time, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the building was built around the turn of the century.
So we have two choices, one for 64.
No, you have four choices technically.
I say replace the full, do a full replacement.
12,000.
We need to make a motion.
I agree.
Yeah, somebody make a motion.
I make a motion that we replace the full air conditioning unit that's failing in an amount not to exceed $13,000.
Okay, I'll second that. Okay, Megan, Megan, do you have any comments? Nope. How about Beth?
Excited.
Art, you have any comments? Linda, do you have any comments?
No.
Okay, let's call the vote.
Director Jones.
Yes.
Director Udo.
Yes.
Director Franklin.
Yeah.
Director Spot.
Yes.
Director Adrano.
Yes.
Keep going.
I don't have anything else for you guys to approve, just some key points. We're at 82% for water accountability. We were at 89 last month, but I'm hoping with your commercial meter replacements that we should see that go up within the next 2 months, because then we don't have to give them time to get out here, and your billing cycle's always in arrears, so it's gonna look a little different for at least 2 more months.
I show 82.
That's what I just said, it was 89 last month.
Oh, in April, you mean?
Yes, your last, you look at your water consumption summary, you'll see 89% Marcus last month. Outside of that, I don't have anything crazy worth noting. The fence repair for Vestavia Ridge, the crew for that has been on a large project, that's why it's taken so long, as well as getting their material. But from what I was told the crew finished last week, and it should be getting started this week if it hasn't already. I haven't been by it, so I don't know if it has or hasn't, but that's what I've been told. And then, other than that, that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions.
No.
I would like to say something real quick before we move on. I want to recognize Michael Luft for being the most outstanding customer service person. I've had 2 people contact me in the last 2 weeks that they went into Infomart to take care of business, and he bent over backwards. He was the only one working in the office, and they remembered his name. So I think it is imperative that we acknowledge that he goes above and beyond. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Okay, agenda 11B, because I think we've done
Just wanted a
11.
swing replacement.
Oh,
item
that's
on
right, yeah,
11A2.
11A2, swing replacement.
We don't have anything on that.
Nope,
Okay.
sorry. Just kidding.
Thanks for not forgetting
Salty
us.
at right there, so I was like,
11B, Information Management Committee. Okay, the Information Management Committee manages the website.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion that directing the Information Management Committee to add the resolutions that were passed for 8A, B, and C to the website.
Okay, you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I'll second it.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, so let's start with you. Your questions. You have questions.
yeah, just so I understand what you want. So I think they are on the website under our board items.
Right.
Where would you like them?
Well, when we last March, we did something at on the front page. So what I'm looking for is to put this, make it easier to find. Yeah.
Okay, so you want them basically to reside in our documents, probably, page, and then have a link from the homepage.
Something like that, yeah. I'll let you figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, so Beth, do you have any comments?
I do not.
Okay, do you have any more comments, Megan?
I don't think so.
No, Linda, do you have any comments?
No.
Okay, Art, do you have any comments? Okay, that's it. Okay, call a vote.
Director Medrano.
Yes.
Director Fox.
No.
Director Frankie?
Yes.
Director Dudo?
Yes.
Director Jones?
Yes.
Okay, security meeting, committee, 11C. I'm going to turn this over to you, Linda, since you've done all the heavy lifting for this.
Actually, Constable Stinson has managed to corral enough workers to begin the Friday, Saturday night shift. My last understanding is that we're waiting on some contract approvals or 1295s, or I don't know. I'm out of the loop on the paperwork, but he's ready to go with staff. And he shared with me that Williamson County right now is having a little bit of issue with allowing or contracting with others, but we have constables, we have that DC domestic company ready to start for the 2 nights, 10 to 4,
Okay.
10 p.m. to 4 a.m., but pending the status of their contracts. Zach, can you fill us in on where they are?
They've been approved.
There you go. They're ready to go. So are we ready to start this Friday?
And who are they again?
Who are the people doing the services?
Yes.
It's
The
that-
constables and DC domestic.
It's that entity that y'all had the proposal for, I think, last month.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Are you ready to start on Friday? He's giving me a thumbs up.
Ooh, this is exciting.
So Friday and Saturday, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. They'll be rolling patrols in the middle of the night.
That's right, yay, okay.
And he will be providing weekly reports so that we can see if there's even a need we're addressing here.
Great.
We're gathering data.
Exactly, that's it. You can't analyze it if you don't report on it.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, okay. 12, deed, restriction enforcement committee, restricted covenants, what have you got to tell us?
I continue to work with the district general manager to monitor the status of the addresses that the board previously took action on. My understanding is that some of them are coming into compliance, and I suspect that those that are coming into compliance, the board's going to want to readdress at some point in the near future. Those that have not come into compliance, we continue to work on. I did hope to have the litigation filed before tonight, but suffice it to say, it's just not a fast process.
Right.
But again, we continue to work with the general manager, and we'll continue to update the board as things progress.
Okay. 12A2, storage of trash cans in the street. So, if everybody remembers, this is sort of we tried to address this last month, and
I'm sorry, Madam President. I'm so sorry. So I know everybody's rolling their eyes at me. So there is no chance of anyone misconstruing what this item is for. I asked the board hold this item until next month so we can move it out from underneath the deed restriction matters, because this is not related to deed restrictions.
Okay.
At least the resolution that you have me drafted does not relate to deed restriction
Right.
enforcement whatsoever.
So I'm not reading all this.
you don't need to. I don't think you need to read it.
And again, in other words, I'm not presenting a platform for anyone to accuse this board of adopting that resolution under the guise of deed restriction enforcement. It's very much related to your authority to provide solid waste enforcement, solid waste
Right.
disposal services. That's how it's drafted. But again, we're not giving anybody that platform. At least that's my advice to you. So
Right.
I advise you to
Right.
leave this until next month and bring it back, and we will take it out from underneath deed restriction committee report.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
It's not
what
that I
you're saying.
don't think y'all should act on it. I think you should just pull it out from deed restriction committee report on your agenda and make sure that's very clear for God
Okay.
and the world, so everybody knows what's going on.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
It was just placed on the wrong,
Yeah.
okay, under
And
the
I
wrong
understand
thing.
you can manipulate your agenda as the board sees fit during your meetings, but again,
Got it.
Who's gonna do the enforcement?
Okay. Let's go to 12B.
She went to the restroom.
actually.
Implementation of quick works.
Mackenzie's left.
Okay.
She had to leave for-
That's right. Okay, so anyway, so I'll just give a general update. Because we're no longer putting deed enforcement fines on the water bills, we needed to have another application in order to handle that invoicing process. We approved, at last month's meeting, we approved the purchase of QuickBooks as this standalone thing. I've been working with Mackenzie to get the configuration going, and that's basically what she was going to tell us. Okay, 13, attorney's report.
Wait, I had a question about the QuickBooks.
Okay, sure, go ahead, sorry.
It's only for Michael, it's really quick. I'm not clear why the current accounting system that is used to capture, record, and track all other district revenues, including fees, cannot capture, record, and track the revenue generated by the collection of deed violation fines. Why is a separate system needed for this? How will the revenue be collected, and what controls are in place to ensure that the money collected is captured accurately in the district's operating account full of public funds?
There's several elements here. I think the primary one is that previously these were being reported through the water system.
Right.
Since that's not happening, that's not a viable alternative. In terms of capturing this on the accounting system, it will be.
Yes.
The plan is to use QuickBooks in the office to be able to maintain and do that at the level of the individual that needs to be doing it, not accounting. I will be getting the reports from that in order to enter on the accounting system everything that needs to be reflected there. But this determination by people involved that this is the more efficient system. Our system, accounting system, is not well designed to handle that level of accounts receivable, give and take system. Everything that's like that, we get outside reports and then enter that information in proper accounting fashion onto the accounting system. So, I mean, that's the quick answer.
And that's a perfect answer, thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you. That
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Okay, 13, attorney's report.
Nothing else on the agenda, Madam President.
Okay, next board meeting is July 20th. Just, everybody's cool with that? That's the next scheduled board meeting. 15, future agenda items. I guess the only one I know for sure is we got to put the trash cans in the street under the correct subcommittee.
And you didn't tell me who's gonna enforce that?
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Not gonna get that answer.
Okay, so adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
That's a great idea.
You want to second it?
I'll second it.
You want to take a vote?
Sure. All those in favor say aye. Okay. Okay, did all the checks get signed?
On that